And let's start seated. So finding your comfortable seat, nice tall spine, letting the sit bones rest down in the chair, letting your feet feel comfortably flat on the floor. Taking a few breaths as we settle in. If you're feeling inclined to wiggle a little bit, maybe letting your body find those movements before settling into a little bit of stillness. Maybe feeling as though the crown of the head could reach up, even while the sit bones are really heavy. Maybe finding a sense that the weight is evenly distributed between both sitting bones. Finding a sense of balance, of centeredness. Letting the neck be nice and long, letting the shoulders perhaps melt down. Eyes can be open or closed as we start to settle in. Maybe starting to bring your awareness or direct your awareness to your breath. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. Noticing if it's shallower or deeper. Noticing if it's slow or quick. How would it feel to start softening any areas that might have some tension? Maybe the jaw could soften a little bit. Maybe the shoulders could melt down if any tension has crept back in. Are the hands gripping? Could they soften? How would it feel to soften the belly if there's any tension there, allowing it to expand with every breath? Just allowing your body to be as it is, allowing your breath to flow naturally as we settle in. Watching your inhales and your exhales flow from one to the other. Being here with the breath for a few more breath cycles. If eyes are closed, slowly fluttering them open. If your hands have the palms facing down, let's flip the palms up. We'll start with our fingers and hands today. I'll stand so that you can see better what I'm doing. So curling the fingertips in towards the thumbs, and we're just gently massaging each fingertip for a few minutes, or not a few minutes, a little while. You can move from one to the next and back again. Just gently massaging the fingertips with the thumb. The next time you make your way back to the first finger, releasing this little massage. And we'll bring the nails of the fingers together and just rub the nails together. It's said to stimulate alertness and mental activity. We'll see. See if it does anything for us. Just massaging or rubbing the nails together. From here, releasing that, we'll move into a little bit of massage. So you can start with your dominant hand. My dominant hand is the right, so I'm moving over to massage my left hand with the palm towards the thumb towards the palm, and just massaging in between the webbing of each finger in turn. So I'm starting between thumb and first finger. Moving to the next webbing between first and middle finger. Moving over to the webbing between middle and fourth finger. And then between ring finger and pinky. As you're ready, we'll switch hands. So left hand will massage the right, or switching if you started with the other. Palm, thumb towards the palm. We can start by massaging between thumb and first finger, the webbing. And then between first finger and middle finger. Then between middle and ring finger. And finally between ring finger and pinky. Releasing that. Having your left hand palm down, and we'll use our three middle or first, middle and ring finger to massage between the knuckles, kind of along the metatarsals along the back of the hand. Switching hands when you're ready. Right hand will be palm down and using the first, middle, and ring finger to massage between the metatarsals in the back of the hand. Releasing that as you're ready. Allowing the hands to rest down, palms up or palms down again, and just noticing any sensations in the hands. Maybe there's some tingling in the fingers or palms or back of the hand. And then finding that tall seat again, letting the feet be firmly on the floor, connecting again with the tall spine, crown of the head reaching up. Finding that softness in the shoulders. Palms can be up or down again. We'll come back to sort of our usual sequence where we go into the neck a little bit. Taking a breath or two in the tall spine. And then we'll start moving into the neck. With your next exhale, dropping the chin down towards the chest. And with an inhale, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. Moving in sequence with your breath. moving as slow as your breath takes you. Noticing any sensations along the way, any areas of stickiness. Eyes can be open or closed. Eventually making your way back so the head is facing forward. No rush to get here. And then we'll start turning the head from side to side, keeping the chin parallel with the floor. With an exhale, turning your head to one side. And then inhaling back to center as you're ready. Again, moving as slowly as your breath takes you. Moving with your pattern, your rhythm. And noticing sensations, noticing any areas of stickiness, some areas that could use a little more attention. If it would feel good to pause in any particular area, you could find that as well. Just taking a couple of breaths in an area that feels particularly good to stay. And then resuming, moving with breath as you're ready. As you feel even, making your way back to center. Head forward. And noticing the sensations that are kind of left over, anything that came up, anything that's lingering. And let's move into the shoulders. Maybe bringing the fingertips to the shoulders today. If this doesn't feel good on shoulders, hands can always rest on the lap or float in the air as well. And we'll move the elbows in circles or move the shoulders in shoulder rolls. As small or big as feels good in your body. And as you're ready, switching directions. And eventually releasing the hands back to your left. Coming back to the tall spine, giving yourself the time and the space to notice your shoulders, any sensations that are coming up. And then we'll move down into the spine. Let's start with a gentle twist. We'll keep legs where they are today, nice feet firmly planted, legs quite firm. So almost as though you could push into the ground a little bit, steadying the legs, lifting the crown of the head up. As you exhale, let's turn the shoulders towards the left, maybe bringing the right hand to the left knee or thigh. And the left hand could come back beside your hip. Or if you have an open backed chair and it feels okay, maybe right behind you. Again, bringing your awareness to the legs, nice and steady, planted into the ground. They are your anchor. With every inhale, thinking about the crown of the head lifting up. And with your exhales, just allowing your body to settle into the twist. If it would feel good for your neck, you could direct your gaze over the left shoulder or in that direction. The head can also be in line with the torso. When your next inhale arrives, let's unwind, coming all the way back to facing forward, back to center. Pausing here, noticing any sensations or differences from one side of the body to the other. And let's reset. Feet again, firmly pushing into the floor. Nice strong legs. Inhaling in center. As you exhale, turning the shoulders towards the right, left hand might come to right knee or thigh. The right hand might sweep behind you towards your hip or towards the back of the chair. Keeping the legs strong. With every inhale, thinking about lifting the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. And with every exhale, allowing your body to settle into the twist. If it would feel good for your neck, you could direct your gaze towards your left or over your right shoulder, or in the direction of the right side. With an inhale, coming back to center as you're ready. Unwinding. Pausing for a moment, noticing any sensations in the torso, in the head and the neck. And let's come to our side bends. Today, let's bring backs of the hands or fingertips to the back of the head so that the elbows are pointing out. If this doesn't feel good for shoulders, hands could also come to hips. Inhaling again with a nice tall spine, not allowing the hands to pull your head forward. So there's a little bit of resistance with the head, keeping it nice and tall. As we exhale, let's tip over to one side. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to tip to the other side. Inhaling back to center, moving with your breath, moving like a pendulum. Exhaling to one side, inhaling back to center. Moving with the rhythm of your breath. One more on each side. As you're even, as you come back to center, releasing the hands back to the lap. Giving yourself that chance to notice sensations in the side body. Does one side feel different? Beautiful. And then we'll come to our cat-cow variation. If it feels okay, again, we'll bring the hands towards the back of the head. If this is now too much for the shoulders, hands can stay on the knees or lap. With an inhale, we'll broaden the chest. So if hands are lifted behind your head, we're bringing the elbows back behind us, bringing the chest forward, and maybe gazing towards the ceiling. As you exhale, rounding forward like a Halloween cat, almost as though you could bring elbows towards each other and towards your belly. I'll turn sideways for the next one. Inhaling to broaden the elbows, bringing the chest forward. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, drawing elbows towards each other in front of you. Moving with your own breath. And if the shoulders have had enough, hands can come to knees or thighs. Using the knees or thighs as leverage to draw chest forward and to push away. One more round in whichever variation you've chosen. Coming back up to a neutral spine as you're ready, releasing hands wherever they are. Giving yourself the time and space to notice any effects of the movement on your body. Let's move down into our legs. Let's draw right knee up towards us, maybe sitting a little bit closer towards the edge of your chair so that the sit bones are still supported, but you have a little more space for the legs. Let's bring right knee up towards us. either holding under the thigh or around the knee or shin. And we'll start moving into some circles, moving the femur, the thigh bone in the hip socket. The circles can get bigger or they can stay about the same. Maybe smaller circles feel good today. Deciding what feels right in your body. And we'll switch directions as you're ready. And allowing the right foot to come back to the mat or the floor. Taking a breath in between sides, noticing how right thigh feels compared to left. And then we'll draw left leg up towards us, holding underneath the thigh, around the shin or around the knee. And same thing, we'll start with some circles, small or big, whatever feels right in your body this morning. Switching directions as you're ready. And then allowing the left foot to come back to the floor or the mat. Let's come back to the right foot, lifting just enough to lift the foot off the floor, maybe holding under the thigh again. Let's draw some ankle circles. A few times in one direction, and then switching when you're ready. Let's point and flex the foot a few times. And then allow the right foot to come back to the floor. Noticing any difference between right foot and left foot. And then we'll move over. Drawing the left leg up enough so that the foot comes off the floor. And finding some ankle circles, left side. Switching directions as you're ready. Pointing and flexing the foot a few times. And then allowing the left foot to come back to the floor or the mat. Beautiful, let's move into our seated version of Sun Salutations, and then we'll move to some standing version. So starting off with feet either hip width distance or whatever distance feels good, knowing that as we come into our forward fold, sometimes it feels nice to have a little more space for the body. We've got lots of arm variations. Throughout our Sun Salutations, I will do up and overhead, but know that there's also wide. Arms can come wide if that feels better in the shoulders. You could bring arms into cactus shape or even wide and down so that the arms are still spreading a little bit. The chest kind of comes forward. So choosing your variation. As you're ready with a nice tall seat. Inhale and exhale here. When your next inhale arrives, let's sweep arms up and overhead or wide, wherever they're headed. Exhaling, hands back to your thighs. With an inhale, we'll draw the chest forward, coming into cow. With an exhale, rounding the back like a Halloween cat. Maybe the shoulder blades gently spread apart. Inhaling back to a tall spine. Exhaling to fold forward. Forearms might come to the knees, fingertips might trace the shins, or fingertips might come to the floor. With an inhale, we'll sweep right arm into a twist. Exhaling, right arm back down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, left arm down.
Inhale, both arms sweep up, bringing us back to a tall seat. Exhaling, hands to thighs. Beautiful. Noticing how the body feels after the first sun salutation. Adjusting anything that might feel good to adjust, whether it's the distance of the legs, directing your arms in a different version this time around. And as you're ready, with an inhale, let's sweep arms up and overhead or wherever they're headed. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Inhaling to draw the chest forward, shoulder blades pull towards each other. Exhaling, rounding the spine, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling back into a tall spine. Exhaling to fold forward, your version. Forearms to knees, fingertips to shins, or hands to floor. Inhaling, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, right arm comes back down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, left arm comes down. Inhale, both arms sweep up, bringing us back to a tall seat. Exhaling, hands to thighs. Pausing for a moment, taking the in-between. Last seated version. As you're ready, sweeping arms up and overhead or wide, inhale. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Inhaling, chest comes forward, cow pose. Exhale to round the spine, Halloween cat. Inhaling back to a tall seat. And exhaling to fold forward, forearms to knees or thighs, maybe fingertips trace shins, hands to floor. Inhale, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, right arm comes down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, left arm comes down. Inhale, both arms sweep up, coming back to a tall seat. Exhaling, hands to thighs. Taking a moment here, a breath or two. Noticing any sensations in the body, maybe a flow of energy or a tingling or a sparkling. Let's draw the legs closer in towards the chair. Feet can be hip width distance or wider. We'll start to shift the weight into the heels. Maybe hands come to prayer or to hips. And we'll hover over the seat, coming into a chair pose without the support of the seat of the chair. Breathing for a moment or two, and then coming all the way to standing. For today's variation of our standing sun salutations, we'll use the seat of the chair. So standing enough of a distance away that if you bend forward, you're able to catch the seat of the chair with your palms. Finding your standing mountain pose, letting the feet be strongly pushing into the mat, nice and stable, weight evenly distributed between both feet. Imagining that all of your joints were stacked, knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Finding that length of the spine, crown of the head reaching up. Let the hands be relaxed by your sides. Breathing here into this tall, strong space. As you're ready, let's sweep arms up and overhead, inhaling. As you exhale, let's fold forward towards the chair. Knees can bend, letting the palms come to the chair. maybe bending forward as much as feels okay. And then with an inhale, drawing the spine back up a little bit so that it's about parallel with the floor. Let's breathe here for a moment, finding this tall spine, inverted L shape more or less. When your next exhale arrives, let's dip the head back down, folding just a little more. Letting the hands be strong on your chair, let's step the left foot back any amount. Then maybe continuing to hold the chair, can we draw the chest forward any amount? This is runner's lunge, beautiful. Then softening the chest again, bringing your weight into the front foot, can we step the back foot forward? Coming back to that spine parallel to the floor shape. One more time, let's dip forward, folding forward. This time stepping the right foot back, leaving the left where it is. Can we draw the chest forward any amount, still with the support of the chair? Breathing here, runner's lunge. Then softening the chest once more. Moving the weight into the left foot, can we step right foot forward? Finding that halfway lift, that spine parallel to the floor. From here, making sure the legs are really strong, and we'll come all the way up to standing. Maybe sweeping arms up and overhead again before releasing the hands back down to our sides. Beautiful, that was a version of a sun salutation. We'll add in one little complication. Maybe two optional ones. Finding your strong stance. This time as you inhale to reach arms up and overhead, we'll sit back into a fake chair pose, bending into the knees. Beautiful. As you exhale, let's fold forward, finding the support of the chair. Palms come to the chair. Inhaling to bring your spine parallel to the floor, that halfway lift position. Exhaling, we'll fold forward any amount more that feels okay. And let's step the left foot back. Option here, either keeping the support of the chair and bringing the chest forward, runner's lunge. Or if you're feeling pretty stable, you could walk the hands towards your right thigh, bringing your torso upright, maybe bringing hands to hips for a high lunge. Beautiful. Making your way back to the support of the chair. Stepping the back foot forward again. Finding the halfway lift position, spine parallel to the floor, knees can stay bent. Breathing here. And let's bend into the knees and reaching arms maybe forward, maybe up, coming into that chair pose before coming all the way to standing. Beautiful. I think that time we only did one leg. We've got to do the other leg. Okay, one more time through. As you inhale, reaching arms forward, maybe up, and sitting back into your imaginary chair. As you exhale, folding forward to find the support of the chair. Finding that halfway lift position where your spine is parallel to the floor. This time we'll step the right foot back as you're ready. Option here, either finding that runner's lunge, drawing the chest forward, but keeping the support of the chair. Or we could walk the hands up the left thigh, coming into a high lunge shape, maybe bringing hands to hips. Beautiful. From high lunge, drawing the hands back down towards the support of the chair. Shifting weight into the left foot, let's step right foot forward. Finding your halfway lift, spine parallel to the floor. On an exhale, folding forward more. Knees can bend. And then finding your chair pose, letting the sit bones come low. Maybe reaching the arms forward or up. And then coming all the way back to standing. Beautiful. We're done with our lunges and our sun salutation variations. Finding any wiggling that would feel good. Let's this time find support with the backrest of the chair so that we've got a little more height. Letting the hands rest on the backrest of the chair as you're ready. We'll walk the feet back, finding our chair version of downward dog. Feet can be quite wide or hip width distance if that feels better. Reaching the tailbone in one direction, crown of the head in the other. Knees can be bent. It might feel good to sway from one leg to the other. Breathing here for a breath cycle or two. And then coming all the way up to standing, walking back towards your chair. Finding yourself in mountain pose with the strong legs, stacked joints, crown of the head lifting. Beautiful, and let's find some balance. So you can continue facing the chair. I'm gonna face the camera just so you can see me. I like to draw my feet as close together as I can for balance so that you don't throw yourself off as soon as you lift one leg. So finding your version, pre-balancing, both feet supported. And let's shift the weight to the left leg, letting the right foot start to get light, maybe coming up onto the toes. And this might be where we stay. Maybe drawing right knee out towards the right. And then options here, either the toes can stay on the ground, and this might be enough of a balance for this morning, or maybe the sole of the foot lifts coming onto the shin or ankle. We want to make sure we don't place it on the knee, so either above or below the knee if the leg is lifted. And then maybe we play with balance. Maybe the hands lift, maybe the arms reach out, maybe one hand keeps support and only one balances or sways. Letting it be a little bit playful, letting it not be too serious, remembering to breathe. As you're ready, let's draw the right knee forward. Maybe stretching the leg out in front of you, maybe lifting it as high as possible before allowing it to come back to the mat. Releasing, finding any little movement that would feel good, shaking it out a little bit. If it would feel good to have the support of your other hand, we can switch directions, letting the right hand be supported. Finding your balance on both feet again. Then starting to shift the weight into the right foot this time and letting the left foot get light, maybe coming up onto the toes. Drawing left knee out to the left. Maybe we stay here today. Maybe this is enough. One leg can be quite different than the other as well. If it would feel good to lift the foot off the floor, placing the sole of the foot either on the ankle or shin, not on the knee joint. And then maybe playing with the balance of the hand, maybe letting go for a second. One foot tends to be a little more difficult to balance on than the other. My right is my less stable foot for some reason. letting it be playful, just breathing through. Maybe the hand stays more on the support for this one. Maybe the toe taps down. Laughing it off, it's just yoga. Remembering to breathe. Then as you're ready, when you've had enough of this side, drawing the left knee forward, stretching the left leg out, maybe lifting it as high as possible before allowing it to come back to the mat. Again, finding any wiggling that would feel good. Let's step the feet wide. And we'll find a 5-pointed star, just a bit of a standing stretch. So toes can point out slightly if that feels good. We'll draw the arms out wide. They could be about at shoulder height, and maybe drawing the chest forward, almost as though you were reaching your hands back behind you. So just a big stretch, toe to toe, fingertips to fingertips. Maybe the gaze lifts a little bit, and breathing here. And then releasing as you're ready. Bringing the feet back towards each other. Let's find one more chair version of a down dog. Hands supported on the backrest. Walking feet back as wide or narrow as feels good. Legs can be straight or bent. Reaching tailbone in one direction, crown of the head in the other. Lots of length in the spine. And as you're ready, walking the feet back towards the chair, coming back to standing. And as you're ready, making your way back to the chair, back to our seat. If it would feel good here, you could close your eyes. Maybe keeping the tall seat. I know sometimes I say relax back into your backrest, but maybe keeping the tall seat to finish today's class. And we'll do a quick body scan. Just bringing awareness to the part of the body that I mentioned as we scan our way through. Noticing the crown of your head, the forehead and eyes, cheeks and jaw, back of the head, back of the neck, upper back and shoulder blades, back ribs, lower back, back of the pelvis, sit bones supported in the chair, backs of the thighs, calves, heels, soles of the feet, toes, tops of the feet, shins, knees, tops of the thighs, lower abdomen, belly, front ribs, chest, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, backs of the hands, palms of the hands, pads of your fingers. Noticing the breath at the tip of your nose. Noticing your body as it breathes.
And coming back to the room you're in. Letting your awareness let go of the breath. Coming out of practice. Maybe starting to wiggle into the fingers a little bit, maybe the toes. Maybe moving into the neck. Opening the eyes if they're closed. And to close practice, let's bring hands, either hands over heart, hands in prayer, if that's in your practice. Hands could also stay resting on your legs. With gratitude to each of you for making the time to practice. With gratitude for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. And with gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us, passing this practice down. Peace. Thank you both.